Before we do anything else, it's time to practice what you learned so that you're really able to use those concepts and those things on your own. So here's another assignment for you. I got 3 tasks for you in this assignment and they all build up on each other. In task number 1, you should add 2 components to this app. As a side note, you find this app, this starting project, attached to this assignment. Run npm install once you downloaded it, and then add your code and write your code in this project setup. So regarding the code you should write, there are 2 components you should add, an active user and a user data component. The active user component will be about outputting data. To be precise, it should output a username, maybe in an h2 tag, and an age, maybe in an h3 tag. The user data component should be about entering data. So the user of this web application should be able to enter data about the user we're managing in these components into that user data component. Because the user data component should contain 2 input fields in its template for the name and the age of the user. You can also add styling if you want to, but this is not required. It's not primarily about the styling here. And therefore, at the end of task 1, you should have 2 components with their templates. Active user outputs a username and age, and user data basically allows the user of this web app to enter values for name and age. At this stage, after task 1, these 2 components are not connected though. They're not talking to each other. In task number 2, I then want you to take the 2 components you created in task 1 and output them side by side in your main app template. And then in task number 3, we're going to connect everything. You should add and manage some user data and pick the right place, the right component for doing that, and ensure that it contains a name and an age. So you want to add some object data to your application that contains a name and an age. Now, the user data, so name and age, should then be output in the active user component, and it should be updatable with help of the user data component. So you will need to manage that data in the right place, in the right component, and then add all the functionality to provide that data to the active user component, and also to provide logic to, well, enable the user of your web application to update that data through the user data component. I hope these instructions are clear. As always, you find my solution after this video so that you can compare your solution to it. If possible, try it on your own first though, and then let's solve it together with my solution.